Iranian forces have been executing a plan devised by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and Iran's top commanders to sow chaos across the Middle East, create upheaval in global markets, and raise the stakes in the hope of pressuring the US and Israel to halt their attack. As per Financial Times, the supreme leader, who was killed in the first wave of strikes on Tehran on Saturday, and his lieutenants began working on a detailed plan after Israel's devastating 12-day war against the Islamic Republic in June 2025. This plan included attacks on energy facilities and strikes that would cause disruptions to air travel in the region. The report said that the plan has been implemented despite Khamenei's death and that of at least half a dozen top Iranian military and intelligence officials, including the defense minister and head of the elite Revolutionary Guards, in the massive bombardment by the US and Israel. On Monday, as markets reopened after the weekend, the regime dramatically escalated its response by targeting energy facilities in the oil-rich Gulf, firing drones at a critical gas facility in Qatar and one of Saudi Arabia's biggest refineries. This caused Qatar, one of the world's top suppliers of liquefied natural gas, to stop supplies. Oil and gas prices surged as shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway through which about a fifth of the world's energy and gas passes, slowed to a halt. In the days since the US and Israel launched their war, Iranian drones have also struck hotels, airports, and ports in countries including Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Iraq, Oman, and Bahrain. It has launched barrages of missiles and drones at US bases across the region and is suspected to have struck a UK base in Cyprus. The tactics reflect lessons from the war in June 2025, when Iran was stunned by Israel's depth of intelligence penetration and its ability to assassinate its top military commanders in the first hours of that conflict. This time, it began rapidly retaliating after Khamenei and top defense officials were killed. Its proxies, which sat out the June war, have also joined the conflict. Hezbollah launched missiles at northern Israel, threatening a new war in Lebanon, and Iraqi militias targeted a US base in northern Iraq. Pro-Iranian supporters have also attempted to storm the Green Zone, which is home to Western embassies in the Iraqi capital. The widening regional conflict is what many feared was the worst-case scenario after Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack on Israel killed 1,200 people in the biggest single killing of Jews since the Holocaust. While it triggered waves of conflict in Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen, and between Israel and Iran, the Islamic Republic sought to calibrate its involvement, calculating that keeping the fight away from its shores was the best way to ensure regime survival. But the calculus changed after the Israeli and US strikes in June, with analysts suggesting America and Israel have triggered the regional war, which Hamas once wanted on their own terms. The report by FT said Khamenei expected to be killed and to die as a martyr staying in his compound in Tehran with members of his family, despite the looming threat of an attack. That meant putting in measures to ensure that the regime could continue to project stability domestically and escalate its response to the US and Israeli attacks. It is now the Revolutionary Guards overseeing military operations, with the forces led by Major General Ahmed Vahidi, who replaced the force's top commander after he was killed on Saturday. The result is a spiraling conflict that threatens to pull in more countries.
The Middle East is on edge as attacks intensify against Gulf states following US and Israeli strikes on Iran. After a drone attack on the US embassy in Riyadh, now Saudi Arabia claims its air defense system intercepted cruise missiles en route to the kingdom. Saudi Defense Ministry claimed 2 cruise missiles were intercepted over an area south of the capital, Riyadh. Additionally, a separate drone attack was thwarted, according to the Times of Israel's report that cited Saudi media. Without naming Iran, the Saudi Arabian Defense Ministry said 2 cruise missiles were destroyed in Al-Kaj district. Saudi press agency, citing a ministry spokesman, reported that 9 drones were intercepted and destroyed immediately upon entering the kingdom's airspace. Iran began hitting targets in Israel, as well as U.S. military assets in the Gulf states after the joint U.S.-Israeli strikes on February 28 and the killing of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. On March 3rd, the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia came under a drone attack launched by Iran. America's Central Intelligence Agency's station inside the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh was also hit by a suspected Iranian drone. Saudi Arabia's defense ministry said the embassy was hit by 2 drones, which resulted in a limited fire and some material damage. In a sharp escalation, Iran also targeted energy installation in Saudi Arabia. Iranian drone targeted the Ras Tanura refinery, one of the world's largest oil export facilities owned by Saudi Aramco. Saudi Defense Ministry said 2 drones were intercepted over the refinery, but the falling debris caused a fire. Saudi Defense Ministry spokesman Major General Turki Al-Malki on Al Arabiya TV said that debris from an intercepted drone caused a limited fire at the facility. Aramco said the refinery was temporarily shut down following the strike. Ras Tanura produces more than 550,000 barrels per day and serves as a critical export terminal due to its location on the Persian Gulf, Reuters reported. The Washington Post had earlier reported that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had pushed U.S. President Donald Trump last month for a strike on Iran, despite favoring diplomacy publicly. The report said that MBS made multiple private phone calls to Trump. Amid the escalating situation, the kingdom disputed media reports on March 2. Fahad Nazir, spokesman for the Embassy of Saudi Arabia in Washington, D.C., said in a post on X that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been consistent in supporting diplomatic efforts to reach a credible deal with Iran. At no point in all our communication with the Trump administration did we lobby the president to adopt a different policy.
In a brazen escalation, Iran reportedly carried out a drone strike on America's Central Intelligence Agency's CIA station in Saudi Arabia. A source familiar with the matter told Reuters that the CIA facility inside the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh was hit by a suspected Iranian drone. The source further told Reuters that there was no indication the station was the target. The embassy, located in the Saudi capital of Riyadh, is among the U.S. sites hit so far in the conflict. Saudi Arabia's defense ministry said the embassy was hit by 2 drones, which resulted in a limited fire and some material damage. A State Department memo said the strike collapsed part of the roof of the embassy and that embassy personnel should continue to shelter in place, the Washington Post reported. The memo did not mention if any CIA personnel were wounded and declined to comment on the situation. Subsequently, Washington's mission in the kingdom warned Americans to avoid the embassy until further notice due to an attack on the facility. On March 3, the U.S. mission cancelled routine and emergency U.S. citizen services appointments, saying in a security alert that there is a threat of imminent missile and UAV attacks over Dhahran. Do not come to the U.S. consulate. The attack on the CIA facility may be significant to an embattled Iranian regime that has long viewed the American spy agency as its ultimate foe. Meanwhile, following the intensified Iranian attack, the Saudi cabinet said in a statement they will take all necessary measures to defend its security and protect its citizens and residents. This comes as Iranian missiles and drones target key oil and other facilities in Riyadh and other parts of the kingdom. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Energy said 2 Iranian drones were intercepted near the Ras Tanura oil refinery, with debris causing minor damage, according to the state-run Saudi press agency. This comes after Iran allegedly attacked Saudi oil giant Saudi Aramco. Iran's Tasnim news agency quoted a military source as saying the attack on Aramco was an Israeli false flag operation, as Israel's goal is to distract the minds of regional countries from its crimes in attacking civilian sites in Iran. The drone attack came after the US and Israel launched an attack on Iran early on February 28th. The waves of strikes killed Iran's supreme leader Khamenei and scores of its senior military and political command, civilians including school kids, prompting fierce retaliation by the Islamic Republic. The Iranian forces and IRGC have been ferociously targeting US and Israeli targets in the region, as well as those of Gulf partners. According to the Washington Post, citing the Central Command, Iran has attacked over 1,250 targets since the war began. Iranian missile and attack drones have struck Kuwait, Qatar, Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and other locations, including civilian targets.